Welcome back to my follow-up video on the Schumann. First of all, happy summer. I hope you're enjoying summer wherever you are. And I want to talk today about my experiences working with the Schumann as I promised a follow-up video. So in that video, I mentioned that I wanted to use the Schumann to work with our little dog, Rocky, who is an adoption dog, a rescue dog. We have two. So I started using the Schumann in his sleeping space. But trouble is he kept moving around. So he, tends to go from one level of the house to another. So he's in the living room and then he's in my daughter's bedroom and then he's in the basement and he's always kind of flitting around. So it wasn't as easy to work with him with the Schumann as I had hoped. So I don't really have an experience to share on that. I think if you were in an apartment or a unit where you have your dog in a smaller space, and they're in that spot a lot. They have a bed and they use that space all the time. I think it would be easier and more successful. So unfortunately, don't really have the best report for Rocky to give any experience of whether it could have helped him. However, I did place the Schumann secretly in my daughter's room, my youngest. So she is a competitive swimmer. She has a bit of a strange schedule because she swims so much, and she's up at like 4:40, 3 mornings a week. Well, actually four, and then off to the pool to swim, and then she swims later in the day. And because of that schedule and studying and just, being a 17-year-old and everything that goes along with that, sometimes she has a busy mind in the night and it's hard for her to wind down. So I put it in her room and I didn't tell her. And I just used the original, the V1. And I asked her, because sometimes for her it's getting to sleep. She sleeps great, but it's just the getting to sleep. And I asked her after about a week or so, I was like, hey, how you been sleeping lately? And she said, oh, actually, it's been really good. I've been getting to sleep really easy. I said, okay, great. And then there were a couple of nights where I forgot to kind of recharge it. It will run for a long time. The V1 runs a long time on a charge, and you can actually plug it in and it will work while plugged in. So you could just have it charging all the time. And she mentioned she had a night that was kind of restless. So I thought, interesting. Could have been a coincidence, but I keep that in her room now. And I think that's a big success story. I also have a good friend who I sent my V2 to her to trial because she's working through some health issues and difficulties in this phase of life. And she feels that it's helping her get better rest as well. And with that, what was very funny when I released my video, the original video, I did not know that the Schumann was releasing a brand new unit. So I put out the video, and I think the very next day they released the V3. And I was like, I got to get my hands on the V3. So I did. And today I want to show you the V3. Spoiler, I did already open this, so this is not really a unboxing that is blind. I already know what's in here. But again, it's has all the information you need in here. It also has a QR code that you can scan to get setup information and to look up frequencies, because the beauty of the V3, I'll show this in a minute. So here it is. You pop it out. Let's do this on the counter. You pop it out, it looks a lot like, it looks just like the other model, the V2 that I had. The difference is it has programmable settings. That's the big difference with this model. So the V2 was really nice because it had this range of settings. This range is even further. It goes from, I think like 0 to 9999.99. So you can actually go online, find different frequencies that you want to work with, and then program them in. There are, let's see, 5 programmable buttons, and then the bottom button allows you to skip by 1,000 units of frequency. So that was another thing customers asked for with the V2, was that when you were trying to find different frequencies, you'd have to hold the button for a long time and it would scan up or then down. So now you can jump by 1,000 units to get to the average frequency you want. And then it has a button here, up and down, to get precise. And also, I'm going to come closer so you guys can see. So this is and let you see a frequency. So let's put that in. So right now I have it set at 7.83. That is the heartbeat of the Earth. That is the frequency that is on the V1 device. So I have that one programmed, and in the morning I use that and a lot through the day. And then you have the 4 additional buttons to put in frequencies. I'll share a couple of mine in a moment. And the bottom is the one that allows you to jump. So you can see it jumps up by 1,000 units. So that's really handy when programming in. And then on the other side, we have that allows you to manually go up, down, and then here you can change from, if you guys can see this, right now it's in a square wave, now it's going to sine and back to square. So I had it in square because I was doing some exercise, and I saw on their site that if you're doing some concentrated work or efforting, that you could use this frequency 5550. And so I use that one when I'm doing fascia flow or exercise. And sometimes I put it on the square wave. And then after, I like to use, there it is, 1550, which has been shown to be a nice frequency for tissue repair and healing. And then in the night when I meditate, I put it at the top. I read somewhere that that frequency 9999 is good for meditation, higher consciousness. So I work with that. But there are many options that you could look into. They have quite a few on their site. So you could scan that QR code, go over and look and see what frequencies you might want to work with. But you can also search online. If you want to search on, for instance, I've done this, tissue healing or for recovery or focus work, right? You can look at all of these different options. They do also include a quick guide in the box. So it shows even from morning to night your options, which I really like. It's got like from 5 to 9 a.m., work with 7.83, and then you have your productive hours, your wind down, all of that's very helpful. And then on the back, they have more frequencies. See if you can see that. Look at that. Angelic frequencies, celestial bodies, optimum healing. So that's a really great addition that they've put in there. So in short, I love this unit. If I were to recommend any Schumann now, it would be this one because it gives you everything. The V1 is really nice and it's inexpensive. I think it's just $99 or sometimes it's on sale for $99. So it's pretty affordable and it's a really nice one to just have in your bedroom, have it running all day long, charge it up or plug it in and use it that way. But if you want to work with the specific frequencies, this is such a nice design and so easy to use, much easier to use than the V2. And finally, I want to say with this unit, you can also use it while it's charging, which is not the case for a lot of devices. Usually they charge, you can't use them while they're charging. So that's a really nice perk of the Schumann. So that's my review, my follow-up, and there's a discount waiting for you if you want to link through. I'm now working with them because when I love a product, I want to align with the company and be able to share discounts with you. So you can go look into that for yourself. Okay. Thank you for watching. And if you're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, give a like, follow. We'll see you soon.